And now a word from our title sponsor, DoorDash. DoorDash is committed to empowering and growing local economies across the country. DoorDash recently released their first ever Canadian Community Impact Report, which shows that when DoorDash is in local communities, businesses grow, consumers can access what they need more easily, and Dashers have the flexibility they need to pursue their financial goals. We love you, DoorDash. Hey, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Amanda.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm Kathleen.
And this is the federal election edition of Beyond a Ballot, powered by DoorDash.
Hello, it is Thursday, April 17th. I am Hannah Thibodeau, and tonight's English language leaders debate brings a very different energy, I think, than last night's French language face-off. While the French debate zeroed in on a lot of Quebec-centric concerns, tonight's is for the whole country. Expect broader themes, maybe some bigger clashes, and hopefully some zingers too. But before we dive into tonight's main event, let's do a quick spin around through last night's showdown. And Kathleen Monk, you are up first today because Jagmeet Singh came out swinging, and he was going after both frontrunners. I would say even after Mr. Polyev more than Mr. Carney. It felt like, okay, I'm just going to say an audition for opposition leader.
Hey, I'll take it. Yeah, sure. Make him opposition leader. Vote us in with about 70 seats. I'll take that. Yeah, he did have a lot of fire in his belly. And it's funny because...
Was that the chicken soup?
Well, yeah, it wasn't mine because I didn't actually get it to him, but I did send him lots of good wishes and good energy because he was sick, right? I told you guys how he was sick for a few days. In fact, I heard from a friend who's on the bus with him that he literally had to, before a press conference 2 or 3 days ago, he had to like stop the bus, get out and actually vomit. Like he was really, really sick.
Oh, that's a shame.
After a little bit of rest, they gave him a day off on the day of the debate on Wednesday, yesterday. And then he came in, fire in his belly, and he was on fire. He had some good haymakers, which is like another word we use for like a knockout. And he actually laid a few blows. Yes, on Polyev, he really took him to task on not having built houses when he was in, not actually achieving a record of affordable housing. He took on Mark Carney saying, hey, you had time to meet with the king, but you didn't have time to issue anything for workers. And then the last one was the block. He actually landed a good blow, especially in Quebec, on Mr. Blanchette. And what he did there, he's like, hey, with the bloc, you're as useless as the monarchy, which is almost like a double blow in the province of Quebec that has very little tolerance for, obviously, the British monarchy. So, yeah, it was a good night for him, and hopefully we'll see a repeat tonight.
Okay, we'll get into that in just a second. But first, Rachel Siegel, where was Scrappy Polyev? The man known for throwing up his political elbows was surprisingly restrained. Was he saving his shots for tonight, maybe?
I think Pierre's at a point where he's really just trying to get his message out. He's trying to tell Canadians what he's going to do for them when he becomes prime minister. And he's really trying to amplify the seriousness of the moment. After 10 years of liberal rule, he wants people to know that he is ready to govern. And I think that's what we saw last night. One of my favorite parts of the debate last night is when they all went around and talked about what they grocery shop for. And Pierre said he buys Canadian beef. And Blanchette said, we have great beef in Quebec. And that moment between them, I think, really highlighted the humanity between the leaders. There was a nice little exchange between the two of them at that point. But I just want to get in on this Jagmeet Singh thing, because where the heck has that guy been for 4 years? I've been trying to tell him, like, come on, talk about pharmacare, get in there. And finally, we saw that. I mean, Blanchette last night also had a lot that he had to gain in that debate. And I think he did pretty well in terms of Carney. Okay, I'll give it to him. He got out unscathed, I feel. But like halfway through, I was like, wake up. What's going on? Wake up. He felt very calm, very boring. And I'm hoping that we will see a little bit more from the guy who is such an experienced debater. He's such an economic, brilliant mind tonight in the English debate.
Okay, Amanda Alvaro, over to you. Mike, I would say Mr. Carney might have had some nerves. You could see it a little bit, but there were no gaffes. Is that a win?
Oh, I think it was a total win. But I also think that this debate was absolutely predictable. I don't think Polyev was restrained because he was trying to get his message out. I think Polyev was restrained because for 2 years, and every year prior to that, actually, he's act like a complete pit bull, like an attack dog, and he's been critiqued and criticized for that at nauseum. So I think we know that the gender gap is showing that Carney has like a 15-point lead with women. We know that a huge turnoff for women is that confrontational pit bull approach. He knows going on that stage that he can't come out swinging like that, or else he's going to further turn off women who are already turned off in this country. So none of that was surprising to me. You also know that there's going to be punches thrown at the front runners. That happened, and their job is to stay calm and carry on. It is to, not attack back, to attempt to get your message out. And I think both Carney and Polyev did that. But, overall, it was a bit of a yawn, and I think it was a practice run for tonight.
Okay. As we were saying yesterday, campaign call out is being replaced by debate Diddy. So for tonight's English language debate, Kathleen, we're starting with you with your ditty. Should we expect fireworks or just a very polite Canadian standoff?
Well, I hope there's fireworks, or I hope that's exciting. I mean, I always tune in, and actually I looked up the stats on debate watching, and they were actually pretty low in 2021. That was because kind of a shoulder season, back to school season election, that one. But 2019, we had around over 14 million of Canadians tuning in. So I hope a lot of Canadians tune in, and so I hope it is a good show. One thing I will mention is it was a great show last night. The set was amazing. The moderator was extraordinary. The production value, they totally bleep the bed when it came to the post-debate scrums. And I really hope to see that changes tonight. And all of the kudos I wanted to give the debate commission for finally pulling off something that was amazing and nobody was going to complain about it. Then they just totally bleeped the bed. So, so I hope to see that improve tonight. And I do hope, like both of my colleagues have said, I do think that Carney kind of got away unscathed tonight. I do expect to see, more of his engagement because English obviously is a stronger language and there's more to gain, really. And there's just more seats in the ROC, as we say, in the rest of Canada. So, looking forward to it.
Rachel, you're next. Debate Diddy.
Well, the reason in 2021 that nobody watched, if you'll remember, is because Justin Trudeau called the election early and there was no reason to have that election. He tried to get his majority and we ended up with the same amount of seats after costing millions and millions of dollars to Canadians. So that's why nobody watched in 2021, more so than the time of year. But for tonight, I am again watching Jagmeet Singh. Like, get out there, do it again. Ooh. Tell us more. I think Pierre Polyev will definitely be pushing Mark Carney on that liberal track record. That's what we're going to see. We're going to try and get that on the record as much as possible. But I agree. I think tonight is going to be a lot different than last night. And that last night was definitely kind of the warm up. So here Kathleen, we go.
Quick rebuttal.
Yeah.
Quick rebuttal.
No, Kathleen, do you like Rachel supporting your guy too?
No, I don't. But I really don't. But what I want to point out is related to that comment, because this is what happens. Jagmeet Singh has always been a fighter. This is actually who he is every day. If you meet him on the street, if you talk to him, if you follow, if you watch his rallies, the problem is that he has not been able to punch through the media, right? So on a debate stage, when time is relatively equal, he actually got the least amount of time last night out of all of the leaders.
Just by a smidge.
And, 3 minutes out of, it's pretty significant. He actually can punch through. And the thing is, that's why we need venues like the debates and why I hope everyone tunes in.
And on that, the reason that he's going after the Conservatives, I believe, and Kathleen can tell me if I'm wrong, is that British Columbia, they are neck and neck with a lot of the Conservatives. And so I think that's really where that Pierre
and not just in British Columbia, in Southwest Ontario. I can name lots of places that are blue-orange fights. We take them on in Essex. We take them on, in Manitoba. We take them on in Alberta. We take them on, in Saskatchewan. We take them on in BC. This narrative that it's only Liberal NDP on this side. No, we take on Conservatives hard, especially in the West.
Oh, hey, Amanda's here too.
Sorry.
I'm okay.
He
I'm
loves it when
loving.
we do this, actually.
I'm
Hey,
loving
Amanda.
this. I'm loving this conservative NDP debate. This is
It's
maybe
so
that's my ditty.
fascinating.
A little shout out
Yes.
to my conservative NDP friend. You know what I'm looking for tonight? I'm looking for someone to muzzle Rebel News and True North and all the fake media outlets who got a disproportionate time at the mic questioning our leaders. They are the purveyors of dis and misinformation, and they should not be allowed up at the mic. There, I said it. That's my ditty of the day. I really hope that legitimate news agencies get their chance to ask real questions so that the leaders can give real answers to what Canadians are hoping to hear from them.
I have to say, I was shocked that the debate commission allowed that. And when we gave them a thumbs up yesterday, I am giving them a massive thumbs down on that today. And Kathleen, I have to say, Mr. Singh handled himself
Yes.
really well.
He did.
I know. It was
Yeah.
incredible to have that kind of emotional regulation when you're being asked really challenging, and frankly, very long questions that were almost like it was like a right-wing diatribe. Like it became a platform for them, actually, because they got to bring their
That's what they
message
wanted.
out, and it was national. And for him just to have that emotional regulation, hence why I could never be a politician. Like to be able to be that calm, to be like, actually, I'm not going to answer your question because you practice
Spread misinformation.
and
But
disinformation.
on the flip
Next
side,
question, please. It was amazing. Yeah.
on the
And
flip
how
side,
he-
Carney did not have that emotional regulation. He got a little jazzed up there talking to some of the rebel media people, including one who he had the police removed from his rally at one point. And he said, "Oh, I haven't seen you at rallies." And the guy said, "That's because you kicked me out." So not the best look for Mark Carney in that scrum.
He got jazzed up because he was a little bit of all of us. He was saying what we all want to say to those BS news.
I'll give him that.
joints.
I will give him that.
I just have to say, in a world where we're trying to keep information on the up and up, and this happens, it is really disappointing for me. As I say, I'm a former journalist, but really, it never leaves my blood, and that made my blood boil. But how about on a happy note? I'm really excited for the English language debates tonight. And Kathleen and Amanda, you are going to be on TV. Rachel is holding a really special event tonight. Sold out. You go, girlfriend. I wish I was out there to join you.
Us too.
But we'll all be in spirit together. So we will be back tomorrow with extended analysis, sorting through the policy, the one-liners, and that inevitable awkward handshake that happens at times. And guess what? After that, ladies, we are heading into the final week before Election Day. Yeah. Woo! I'm excited. It's looking like the end is coming. Appreciate everyone listening. Tune in tomorrow because it's going to be a good one.
Thank you for listening. New episodes come out daily, and you can find Beyond a Ballot on Instagram and wherever you find your podcasts. A huge thank you to our title sponsor, DoorDash, and sponsors Equal Voice, Page, and Canada Powered by Women for making this election special possible. Speak to you tomorrow.